has already found lots of information. And, I mean, the problem is they've got no eyes on B whatsoever. In this situation, I kind of think you want somebody at least holding short B because it's still a possibility. However, in a professional match, maybe that possibility... I was going to say... No, never mind, actually. Gibberish. But this will be a big engagement for Dragon. Is he looking the right way, though? Lekr0's even looking for this. He knows where the holes are, potentially. So Lekr0 sees nothing there. And now that's surely got to send somebody back towards the B bomb site. JW picked off around the toilets, and so will Res B.
Time starting to run low. 40 seconds to get onto a site, and they're starting to make a move. So the A bomb site's almost cleared out. Geralt is now dead as well, so pretty much everyone dying for NiP. Not a good start for them. Dragon looking to try to clutch, but sometimes the headshots just don't fall your way.
That was the Counter-Strike effect to the maximum, where they had the rotates, they had 4 at A, they played it all properly. You don't necessarily want to let them on the site, you do want to fight them around bathrooms. You have this many players, everyone should be accountable for 1 kill, and still everybody dies. So that's really sad, because it's such a huge risk to push through Monster. That's one of the hardest, most dangerous pushes to make, but once you take it, the only way to kill that guy safely is by wrapping all the way through spawn. So you know that you're safe as a CT, and that gave NiP so much information, they just couldn't hit their shots.
Such is the nature of a pistol round. Force buy from the Ninjas. Everybody in on a force buy, including Draken. Some teams will save the sniper from the force buy to get him on the early AWP at all costs, even at the cost of having a lesser chance of winning this round.
It's interesting that they have prioritized a lot of HE grenades, Fnatic, over other grenades, because they don't have much utility to begin with, but they seem to prioritize that. I mean, Lekr0, he just had AK HE, so I'm not sure exactly. Do you have any idea as to what they have in mind with that?
I think it's just the idea that, well, first of all, Fnatic's impact grenades are extremely well practiced, I guess is the best way to put it. Well, they think about all of their HEs, especially on overpass. Actually, they have a ton of planned ones, so I think they just see the ability to do a lot of pre-nade damage. And I am personally a big fan of using impact grenades on anti-ecos as opposed to things like flashes and smokes, using Molotovs and HEs and sticking to that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Sometimes smokes can be used against you.
Just note how Rez is playing this situation. He's not giving them an early engagement, just trying to hold this water position, which is very dangerous. And it's hard for the T's to push in here, and you see the T's are respecting it somewhat. Now the numbers are thinned out, he will be less of a concern, and they will hunt him down. So I think that was a good approach to the CT water by Rez and by the T's as well. Thin the numbers out elsewhere.
I do wonder though, James, like why they did have their Opera force, because I feel like your odds of winning the round marginally increase if your 5th player decides to armor up and get a CZ, instead of just sticking with his USP while everybody else has a CZ armor.
I don't think there is a wrong choice. I think it's about preference and what your goals are in that round and beyond. But my preference would be to always have the sniper saving, because I feel like in this current, like watching so many matches, I feel like in the meta of Counter-Strike, it's so important if you've got a dedicated sniper player to have him on the sniper rifle ASAP, because in the teams where they have that dedicated AWP, they have such an impact that if you look at, like, for me, if you look at like your increased chances if they join the force buy versus your increased chances in the first buy round if they have an AWP, I feel like there's more importance in that first buy round.
Oh my god, this is not going to be easy,
really?
But it will be nice to start off with a knife.
Oh!
Even I would have shot the guy in the head, because that guarantees he could have maybe even lined up 2, depending on how the floor is. He could have tried to shoot 2 people with 1 bullet, but he's confident.
You're surprised he didn't deagle then knife, but or deagle. But his teammates did the rest, so perfect.
Yeah, he survived the round. If he survives the round, then that's even better. If he dies there, it's probably not worth it, bearing in mind the cost of armor and so on. But
I think it helped that he was able to fall into bathrooms right after.
Yeah. There we go.
Was it JW like knifing
Oh.
Happy? yesterday?
Twice?
Twice, yeah.
I think so. Well, we've got some opening kills here for both sides, and now we've got a two-man push into the short B position. Forest almost holding the off angle on barrels. Rez will manage to defend. Forest falling back to the water. Lekro just about not taking him out, but Lekro's in a very tough situation here. Crim's trying to find something in connector. Flush has been taken out in the meantime. Lekro's still alive though on his own in the site. Got Rez down to 13 HP, and that's an open B bomb site, or is it? Draken on the high ground. Rez dealing with, well, the team dealing with Forest and Rez. There's the 1v1. The bomb in the hands of Crims. Draken moves to the low ground.
Well, it's an important 1v1 to win for NiP. Bomb not down just yet, so that really helps Draken. Although, even if it's called into question that there's a rotation for the bomb, Draken's position is obviously going to be really fast on the rotate, so it's not to worry about too much. See, Crims is just trying to play this completely safe. If he waits long enough, and it had Draken actually gone for that rotation through towards the door, Crims would have caught him, so using that time effectively. And he can be fairly sure where Draken is. There's a couple likely spots. Draken is moving though quite quickly, and the off angle as Crims goes for the peek. Very well done by Draken.
Yeah, that's good that Draken went nice and wide there to make sure that even the slightest shoulder peek would get punished. And as you said, very important 1v2 for Draken to win. Fnatic made that pretty sketchy, but it looked like on that round, I guess it's because Draken didn't plan to buy an op or didn't want to in the first place. I think if he knew he was going to, probably wouldn't have spent all that money, maybe.
Alright, so Draken gets onto the AWP very quickly indeed. MP9 for Forest. It will be fun to see what he can get up to there. Draken not all too consistent there on the B-hops.
It's impossible to be consistent on the B-hops.
It's like, what, 50% at best?
Yeah, 50% at best.
Might as well spacebar then.
Scroll slowly, get lucky. You still improve your chances by like 8 times by using a mouse wheel.
Unless you're a god of the spacebar.
Then you'd be amazing with this mouse.
I feel like there is, with all the switches available for keyboards, I feel like there are probably better switches to have more consistent.
Well, you'd have to hit tick
B-hops.
on the tick, but with a mouse wheel you get 8 ticks. You get 8 chances.
Bardolph only needs 1, baby. Tracking off to a good start. JW's there to pick off Dennis in the long ground, but there are not 1 but 2 CTs coming his way. Trying to get the flashbang working, but the formation of NiP will prevail in this regard. Golden trying to make inroads with the information that they have. I don't know if JW is even aware that there are 2 players around the toilets area. Rez picking off Lekro towards the bomb site. He's Lurk taken out. So maybe there's a rotation to be had for NiP.
I think he was. They were very they were both very keen on getting back to the site. Golden decided to run all the way up. Oh my god. Really abusing that radar right there.
Not a bad spot here for Fnatic. And the issue is they don't know if there's going to be someone on the flank as well, so you have to be wary of that. That's what Flush is up to. Golden though trying to hold down the majority as they try to burst up the stairs there. A success from Forest. Now Flusher in the 1v2, but it is quite a favourable one, and they don't have anything in the way of grenades. So if Flusher plays this correctly, this will still be fairly favourable for him. It's never easy. And there it is. So difficult. You have to turn into the containers and then not face your opponent to go for the defuse, and which makes it obvious you're defusing and also makes it very hard to get the kill.
He truly is the clutch god of 2018. He's awesome. That was smart how he played that. After the first kill, very low on HP. I mean, here they're pretty much out of time, but as soon as he hears a tap, he peeks because he knows that your aim is displaced as soon as you do go for the bomb again. And he realized after the first shots that he's going to try to tap it one more time. So there's always, you know, the fail-safe strategy of waiting 4 seconds, but sometimes coming in between is nice too.
Lekro taking short B away from the CTs. Although, perhaps they will re-aggress. 3 people in the B bomb site. For the time being, they'll drop a smoke down. 1 SMG and 4 CZ75s for the NiP squad.
Oh, come on.
Crims. What in the blazes? I didn't even register where the guy was. But then again, I'm not Crims. Forest trying to do what he can, spotted the bomb. And now the push comes in from NiP. 3 players per side, but look at the damage on Fnatic. Flush at 3 HP, Crims on 13. This is not going to be easy. Bomb in CT possession. That MP9 is going to be devastating unless Lekra can do something here.
How's he going to do this? The bomb is just at their feet. Lekra will turn the corner. There's one. Really needed that second one to help Crims actually make this clutch doable, but it's looking very unlikely. The MP9, the AK-47, the multitude of angles that they can hold, crossfires, just everything is there for NiP. Crims needs 2 incredible one-taps, I think, to make this work. And they're not giving him anything easy, at least. And there it is. 2 rounds for NiP, and 4 now for Fnatic. And the money's now gone as well for Fnatic, so NiP in a good position after some hardship. That's easy to say.
That is crazy good from Crims. Not good enough, but always nice to see a demonstration of individual skill.
So as we're in the eco, I have a quick question. So we're talking about the bunny hopping. Are you saying, Londis, that it would be equivalent to 8 chances at a 1-frame link versus 1 chance at 1-frame link?
Yes.
And like it's a 1-frame link, I guess, without any like you don't have any reference points or rhythm or anything, or the muscle memory as much.
Well, there's also server variants. There's ping. You have to account for all that. One thing is, though, just for a tip for people out there trying to bunny hop and not having success, if you people will try to jam too many inputs in at once, and that can actually cancel out the ability to b-hop. So you should scroll slowly when you want to b-hop and space them out a little bit, the inputs.
But can you not have like a mouse which, let's say, has registers too many?
Yeah, if you try to use a mouse with a free scroll, like there's a Logitech mouse that has a free scroll. Some great Frankie memes came of that mouse.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually help you consistently b-hop. If you spin that thing as hard as you can and start jumping around, you won't actually get consistent b-hops.
On the subject of spinning, very soon I will have fidget spinner keycaps. They're at home waiting for me. I'm flying home to collect them tomorrow. Fidget spinner keycaps. This is what the world has come to. I am very excited.
A little late on the meme. Did you get them off Mass Drop?
Of course.
Okay.
It's the final boss. Fidget spinner keycaps are the final boss.
I had to check Mass Drop more for stuff. I never look at it.
I always regret it 6 months later.
Dennis with the fountain push. Something that you'd always see Kiabi do on the old Astralis.
I actually just did a video on this that's on my channel, about Fur and Rain and how they push. It was pretty much Fur, and then Rain pretty much copied. Rain does everything Fur does on most maps. They've changed a little bit, but Fur is the leader of aggression.
He is. He is the fearless leader of aggression. Reyes with the AK in the short B position. Not overextending. There are more players to find. JW very careful. Minute mark spotting Dennis around the fountain. Perhaps some players would have been caught off guard, but JW knows what he's dealing with. Old friend. Fnatic still early doors towards the A site, but they've got the numbers, and there is a flank coming in from NiP, as we can see. Perhaps there are some sound cues for the flanker, Monsieur Draken. Oh dear. Ooh, he could get 2 here, very likely indeed.
Nice.
Very short burst at the end. In fact, the last bullets. 3 versus 2, 20 seconds, and this is falling apart for Fnatic.
Swedish Counter-Strike, aggression all over the place. Grimstoke still has a chance to do this. I think he's got the ability to survive after planting, so He has a go of the 1v3 clutch after plants. Now he's got to find himself some 1v1s. We've seen him have very quick reactions before. This one, the continuation is great. Not expecting the second player. The tapping, the patience.
No! No!
Oh my god, someone stop this guy.
Insert this is an FPL meme.
Crims is feeling it. He's ready to kill everything, even a toilet sign.
Oh my god, so sick.
Oh my days.
I love how back Crims is.
Freddy.
He's more than back.
Going full cue ball in round number 8. Oh god. We do not deserve this. Actually, we do. Draken with a nice shot. That's why you want him on the AWP ASAP. Ooh, is he good for the second shot? Not sure if you want to challenge, although GW is in position to throw a flash, but has no flash. How do you peek? Oh, perfect timing from Dennis. This forces the hands of the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Draken getting tagged, but he's still alive. And he manages to fall back. Dennis lost in the meantime, 4-on-3.
Draken reclaiming some positioning around toilets, although I'm not sure if he knows about Lekro. Well, now he knows. Oh, he misses that. Actually thought he was going to land that shot. That's quite important, actually. That does give Lekro an AWP if he wants. I'm actually not sure if it is collectible. There is, I think, coverage now from, so you can get right in the distance. Forest on the flank as well. To be expecting it, indeed. For a shutdown that may also shut down some of the hopes of NiP here.
In terms of periods of awareness, you know, watching the big flank that far off, you wouldn't expect someone to be so ready. It's Forrest who's going to be like, all right, I'm going to see a terrorist, but a terrorist is not going to expect to see a CT there. So that was very, very good awareness from Fnatic to know. So, oh wow. Oh wow.
And not much you can do about that. Yeah, Ray can still do some things with this, but he will go down. Needs to get that first frag. 6 rounds for Fnatic, 3 for NiP, and it's pretty crazy if you consider that it was a rather ridiculous 1v3 clutch from Crims that got Fnatic back into this position. They were otherwise looking sort of generally, well, they weren't getting manhandled by NiP, but NiP was certainly sort of owning them.
It was hard for both sides. Rounds have been won and lost, so no one had the most perfect economy, but that was NiP's round to win. However, Crim said no. He simply said no, and now the score is 6-3 in favour of Fnatic, and NiP have money no more. USPs in the P2000 onto Dennis. And Lekro will farm these players. I love the carnage of a Swedish derby, a proper Swedish derby.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I guess this is the this is it. This is the original one. Yeah, that's a good point. Fnatic and NiP. Well, Fnatic will go 2-7 rounds very shortly. It's crazy how Counter-Strike is sometimes. Like how much it can come down to just winning the clutches.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
there's no other esports that have that factor.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many cool things about Counter-Strike as a spectator experience that no other esports have.
1 HP, 1v5, 1 taps down mid.
Just the fact that like you have this, it's so intuitive, and there's immediately understood tension when like a team goes 4v5. Now everyone knows that the team that's 4v5 is less likely to win, and that's just, I don't know, it's very cool.
Line it up. Poppy flash you.
Wow.
Works very well for Golden. Fast round from Fnatic, or a fast start, and a successful one. 5 versus 3 with 1 minute and 30 on the clock. That's a shell shock for Ninjas in Pyjamas. It's Flusher's turn to lurk towards the B bomb site. Lucky to get away with that one. Try and create some space for himself.
It's like, hey, you threw a bad smoke. Here's a good smoke.
No grenades for NiP.
Damn.
Yeah, at 1 minute 30 they had no grenades. It's nuts.
Lost bonus is not there for them, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
There should be no way NiP can win this round. With a 3v5, no utility, that just shouldn't be a thing. We'll see how it goes, but Fnatic should be fine. Rez is going to have to go huge here. They were beginning to line up, but Rez can't quite find the shots he needs. Crims and Golden will finish off the rest of the defenders on the B side as Get Right starts to rotate. And all that he could really hope to do here is get a couple kills.
So Dennis dies because he pushed up again. And he was behind the smoke, so he's playing it a lot safer, but the chain flashes were beautiful from Fnatic. But one thing that started to change a little bit as the metas developed is that Rain initially would push Fountain by himself, and so would Fur. But now Rain has done a lot more double pushes. That was like a few months ago from the demos I made the video from. But in the recent matches, Rain will start to have Guardian stay there with him because it's getting harder to get away with that Fountain push or just hang around at party all alone. Here are these beautiful chain flashes. Just have Dennis completely blind.
So guys are feeling it.
As important as it is, if you take the best CT spawn on overpass, you can peek down mid, and no one can, or the first guy might be able to cross along, but it's very unlikely. Best spawn, you know, running will get there, like this guy maybe. But most of the time, you can see if anyone's crossing, and that cuts off all of bathrooms, tells them that it's going to be A or B or stairs. So there's a lot of value in that.
Pistols once again for NiP, and there's a reasonable chance now of Fnatic running away with this half because, well, I mean, it depends on the next round. So obviously, at this point, NiP's loss bonus is rising, so they'll have a better buy, more equipped than previously. But if they are to lose that, we might be looking at a likely 11-4 scoreline for Fnatic. Oh, and someone's just disappeared from the server, which is unfortunate for them, but there are worse rounds for it to happen. These last two players, however...
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Just a bug. Or something.
Lecro's joined its... Yeah, I think it's just a UI.
Oh, he just, yeah. He joined, but he was never alive.
Okay, Get Right's PC has imploded. So he will be right back. And then we will resume the match. There he is. Boom.
Well,
welcome back, monsieur.
Double orbs is the solution. I was talking earlier about the ability to have Forest as that secondary AWPer is really powerful sometimes on a map like this on the CT side, and it's where you would expect an NiP to have a good half. But again, you can't fault them too much. I think they've played some good rounds. Fnatic have played excellently well on their T side, and they also, on top of that, have won some pretty nuts clutches in some very, very important moments. So let's see if the double orbs can turn things around somewhat for NiP, salvage the half. Grenades have been pretty darn good overall for Fnatic so far. Definitely a team to watch for that. Flashbang, get Draken off the angle. Fall back, Get Right active in the connector position as well. Scary stuff here for both sides, but it's JW to draw first blood. Will Dennis respond?
Waiting for his timing. However, he's being waited for. Bomb spotted, but that doesn't really mean so much at this point. So much time on the clock for Fnatic, and they have good possession of short B, so they could go wherever they please. JW will be the investigation man towards the A site. Draken missing the shot there. Will he have another opportunity? Perhaps not. He doesn't know how many people are with JW. That's going to pull a second player towards the A site. Forrest can't quite pull the trigger on that one. Now, still presence towards B and A, although positions being compromised in the stairs area. And Draken's in a lot of trouble. JW going for the knife, it seems.
Oh my god.
So VM.
Oh my god.
You love to see it.
That's awesome.
Especially in the Swedish derby, that's great. Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love Fnatic.
Wow.
Hunger Games. Or I prefer to say Battle Royale because that is the original.
That's what we need the Owen Wilson oh wow for. Oh wow. Wow. They're just so far ahead, aren't they?
They're playing really, really damn well, honestly.
Yeah, now the flanks are almost impossible because they've done it 2-3 times in a row. There they caught Dennis at long.
Yeah.
Big flanks are going to be held. They're going to be too scared to push B now. And Fnatic are getting the opening kills at A, so they're running out of options.
Rez taking chunks. Get right, going slightly too far with that smoke grenade. That's an unusual pick on Get Right. Just trying to smoke off the tunnel like that.
Because it really wasn't trying to peek.
Yeah, but you never see someone get picked like that, throwing a smoke. So
because
maybe
you don't really need to show yourself.
Yeah.
But it seems like he overestimated the Yang.
That is unusual. And there it is, 11-3. Will it be 11-4 though? Or maybe it will be 12. I mean, until NiP's economy was well and truly broken, it was a really interesting back and forth, but Fnatic won the battle. Will they win the war?
NiP, we've seen quite a few of their players, missing shots and not having a good time. And in contrast, Fnatic seem to be firing on all cylinders, not really missing all too much. Crims can't make that work. You almost would expect it after what he showed us this game so far.
If you think about it, that play from Crims allowed them to basically have a monstrous half. Because this could have been, I won't say the other way around, but much more favorable for Ninjas in Pyjamas had he not got that 1 versus 3.
Well, Draken won a 1v2, and the other round they won was the full eco, or the CZ MP9 force up.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually.
They kind of both got lucky in some senses.
And I mean, they seem to be also reading the map very, very well. We're seeing them really have a very good feeling for the pace and timings of NiP. Let's Get Right tries desperately to salvage something here. Cannot do it. 12-3 is the final score of the first half for Fnatic. Very, very impressive T-side from them. But it does feel like they played very well, and NiP are sort of having a bit of a hard time hitting some of their shots and making some of their setups work. And as you say, also, it's much less forgiving if you have a bad turn of economy on the CT side. So let's see what they've got in the playbook for their overpass pistol. You'd imagine that generally teams don't tend to get too elaborate, especially when they know each other very well. Rounds like this.
That's a good point.
Basics pretty effective on a pistol round, and
Crims is going for gold, man. He's just going for gold now. He just wants the best map ever for Crims. Lecro, nice one tap from him. Really going for the patient shots there, but perhaps this will be NiP's pistol round. Could easily still go either way. Golden outside the bogs, as is JW on the other side. The toilets are surrounded. They're coming for that porcelain. Not this time, Mr. Golden. JW will get finished off as well. Nice crouch by Rez. And there is hope yet for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
yeah, absolutely what they needed to do, get that pistol in the bag, and the AK is coming out straight away. Will we get a Mach 10 on somebody or a UMP? Okay, Galil UMP has some grenades, and again, there's like 3 options that usually happen with the anti-force buy. Either you get the default into big push at long, but with everybody, default into monster rush or straight monster rush. Those tend to be the 2 sort of best options, because generally you want to avoid connector. It always seems suicidal to walk connectors, where the pistols will be very happy. We can see they're swarming around.
Oh my days.
Flusher, still the god of the CZ, of course. And I was going to say, the problem with connector is that the CZs do so well there, and so, well, NiP are getting absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, at this point, Fnatic might just be better on overpass for this particular match. JW charging through a smoke with a CZ, landing the kill.
That's the this round is an example of sometimes why the default can be an issue, because it used to be that teams wouldn't do a sort of like a default into a rush of like long or a rush of monster. it would be that they would just go for it. And then the meta changed a little bit.
Oh my god.
But you are a bit spread out of the early rounds, so
Yeah, it's risky.
It was quite exploited in this particular example.
Yeah, sometimes it is. It is risky to even just kind of take what you would normally call safe map control versus CZs. Rez tweeted the other day that he feels gross even when he gets the CZ kill.
Rough. It's a rough map of overpass for Ninjas in Pajamas. Fnatic looking too good at this point. One player I enjoy watching with a CZ is Flusher. I'll allow that. Everything else is kind of sucks, but you'd love to see it from Flusher because he's just so sick at the game.
Oh. I mean, another issue in some senses as well is that like they had so little utility, and I would have liked more SMGs, but I guess we can go back to that point as we are perhaps in dying rounds of this game if NiP can't turn things around. They are just going for toilets at the moment. The push from JW could ruin everyone though. If he gets that bomber, oh no, he's gonna catch the bomber. Oh, that's pretty important. That is pretty important, but it doesn't really matter. Crims is cutting down the front, the vanguard of the push.
Minutes 10 for Ninjas in Pajamas. All outside the toilets for the time being. And we've got Draken trying to find out if there's any more flanking going on. It's a nice shot from Get Right. Bomb not spotted for Fnatic, so there will be one player per site, but they've both got AKs. Look at the fear! Look at the fear! Draken has no idea what is safe. You can thank JW for that. 40 seconds and NiP end up running their own clock down because of Fnatic's erratic, respectless behavior.
Fnatic erratic. Oh dear, this peak when they all turn up at once. Good timing, good spacing. That was certainly scary for Golden, and the info will be passed along to Lekro, and Lekro will decide that it's too scary for him. Or will he? Or will he? Perhaps he will presume it was planted for the bathrooms. Try his luck at a flank, but no. Playing it safe, playing it safe. NiP with the reset round onto Fnatic. So they actually are going to bring themselves back into this game with that. With this, they can generate a lot of money. But that said, we know Fnatic to be somewhat devious.
Well, this means Fnatic are going to have CZs again.
Yeah.
I love this position. It's funny in the hubs now. I've played with the players enough so that if I'm saving on overpass, they always come for me there because I'm always standing there with my knife out, waiting to knife somebody coming up the ladder. So I need to find a new safe spot because everybody in the UK and in America knows I stand there on a save round. So I'll lose an AWP because I'm standing there with my knife out. Flusher, where is his weapon? Okay, there we go. The scout's being collected with a USP, so no CZ. They're going for bigger weapons. This is a reasonable buy from Fnatic. A dangerous buy. That was a pre-fire perhaps from Crims. Just about missing the mark.
Those shots with the scout, or even the AWP, seem very difficult when they first appear. I feel like it's one of the harder. Like it's deceptively difficult.
I agree with you.
It's like it feels weird. It feels like harder than it should be. It's strange.
Yeah, I think similar to if you're on CT Mirage and somebody runs out ramps and just runs strafing. It's not easy to land that shot.
It's also very far away, both the CT to A ramp and long on overpass.
You're saying there's like a bullet drop in?
No, it's just that the targets probably just feels they're a little bit farther, so they.
Well, this is not working out just yet for Fnatic. Flusher trying to find some tags. Ooh, the good old days, but really the bad days of the jumping scout, the horrible days. Forced all the way out. Lekro, can he get more than one? He's got to be careful of the truck position. Jumping by accident, and that's going to take him out of the game. Flusher and Golden remain in a 2 versus 4. 2 of these players are tagged for the NiP side. Spray not working out, and it's Flusher with the scout now. Will they try to knife him? They can't really afford to in their position with 5 rounds on the board.
I like the jumping scout, James.
I liked it too.
I know it's not realistic.
You guys are morons then. I love the scout, but I hated the jumping scout. It was upsetting.
I found it to be a skill shot. I think the...
It's not skill. What do you mean skill shot? You jump and then shoot in the air. How's that skill shot?
You still have to aim.
It's a moron shot.
Moron shot?
Yeah.
I think it was a skill shot, and you could still shoot someone if they were jumping. I think that the thing is...
It broke the design of the game, though.
I don't agree with that.
Well, I mean, if you look at any map, it's not designed for people to shoot while they're jumping in the air and be accurate. It goes against the design of every single map, of the general ethos of Counter-Strike.
But you can also shoot back at them. So...
Yeah, but it's not... It's stupid. It's like if somebody's behind the default plant on overpass, jumping with a scout. Like, let's say it's a 1 versus 1,
People
and you're looking
pre-aim
for it to pop to the left or the right, but they jump in the middle. Like that's ridiculous.
People pre-aim that right now, even just for jump spotting.
Yeah, but jump spotting is different.
You could die both times.
This is a weak argument. Jumping scout was stupid and annoying.
And I think the main problem was the hitboxes were broken before, so if someone was jumping, you couldn't hit them. Like if someone was jumping from a fast cat on Dust 2.
That compounded the problem.
Yeah. But I think once they fixed hitboxes, I actually was okay with it. There's still something a bit weird about registration. Like, it feels like when you shoot somebody, you know, 8 bullets come out, you get a dink, and they don't die. You get the instant dink, but they don't die. And it's just like, how come none of my other bullets hit their body? And then it feels like that happens very often. To the point that I wonder, just... It feels like with how fast bullets shoot and how accurate you can... Or how clearly obvious it looks like you hit somebody, it feels like they should be dying actually a lot sooner than they are.
Imagine an analysis tool that passed all the data from every time you had a fight with someone in the match, and it showed you your crosshair placement statistics and visualizations, as well as your average control of spray patterns and so on and so forth. I'm sure there's like those tools will exist at some point.
Yeah.
And you find out that you're always like a bit to the right or something, or whether you're
maybe
compensating is like slightly mistimed by a couple bullets, something like that.
NiP are making a game of this.
Yeah.
6 rounds between the 2 sides now.
They are going in, and look at the nade situation for Fnatic. This is a very exploitable round from NiP's perspective. Depending on whether or not they read this, it's very hard on overpass and any map really as CTs to play without any grenades. At 1 minute 30, they've got almost nothing. Flush is going to go for the fight, and he'll be traded out. That actually works pretty well for Fnatic, to be honest. In a lot of cases, you'll say that the T's get an advantage, but I think in this, on overpass, and because it's Fnatic versus NiP, I feel like this is actually a really good spot for Fnatic, not having much utility to create a 4v4 early on.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's also some relief in knowing because the other team has more utility than you, if you kill one, they're worth more than, and like your life is not even worth as much because you don't have any.
The Shadow gives Rez's position away, but Crimson's not ready for Dennis. Manages to get the refrag, essentially, the trade frag rather. Don't know what refrag means. Last 3 players further back on both sites now, perhaps forced to, or compelled to wait for NiP to make their play. 2 players on A, and 1 will be entrusted with the B bomb site. And the investment of 2 towards A appears to be the right one. Golden spotting through the window of the truck, holding the smoke grenade to try and create some space again. JW has the shadow advantage once more. There it is, but he still can't get the pre-fire in. There's the smoke grenade. Golden has to buy time. He takes the bomb planter now, but Dennis will trade again.
Lekr again needs to get himself on the clutch. See what he can do from this position. Dennis obviously low, but the AWP I think is going to be quite problematic to deal with. Oh, that said, Lekr finds Draken as he positions onto the truck straight away. Ooh. And now things look very favorable here for Lekr as he is about to walk in to Dennis.
Is that the 2nd time he's jumped by accident in a duel. Was it him that happened to earlier?
I think it was Lekro it happened to earlier.
That is Lekro.
That is Lekro.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it's the guy you just killed. So yes, yeah, it was Lekro then.
It's the reason that happens is when you have your jump on mouse wheel, your mouse wheel gets stuck in between ticks, and then if you shake your mouse a little bit, it'll just jump the tick. Flick or something.
This is why I'm a spacebar god. I got no time for accidental jumping. I'm a championship player. I can't afford this.
I feel like it's a mouse problem. But
imagine if it happened before he gets a kill, and then he loses round because of that.
probably still wins that fight.
Which mice is it? Well, hang on. We'll go back.
Yeah,
to
that's not something you discuss on broadcast.
NiP just going for the fast pace, so switching things up very quickly. Although if Fnatic have everyone in position, this could still work out pretty well for NiP. They have so much time. The flank is so fast from Crims all the way around. Now this could be an issue, and unfortunately Draken does not see that coming, and that could break the round for NiP.
Very important duel coming up. Or is it? Again, Crims' presence here will slow NiP down. So if he chooses to rotate, it will essentially give them an extra man for a certain window of time. So Forest is just hiding now. 2 versus 3. But what is the play here? Maybe waiting for a CT to pop back out again, but there is no such play. Rez making noise on a B bomb site.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have, huh? Because the time that they're waiting is actually could benefit them, spread out the CTs, but right now we can see Lekro's already coming back. But I don't think Rez he definitely doesn't know there's someone in pit, or he would have hard cleared this, because that'd be a very favorable angle for him.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's a scenario where he's making a noise deliberately and then trying to offer some kind of weird double fake or something. I think it's just a jump for the sake of a jump. Will it? What are the implications? That player has got the sound cues, waiting for Crims to move in. Rez holding the water. Nice burst from him. There's a flank from Crims, and Rez has got his knife out, I think. Knife or grenade, other one, he can't defend himself. That leaves Forest alone. He just planted a bomb. There's very limited places that he can be. No kits for Fnatic on these last 2 players. No smoke grenade for short either. Pop flash from Crims, and Forest is blind, can't find the angle for the spray, and that is match point Fnatic.
Good attempt from Forest there. The response time of Fnatic though was, I guess, really what helped them so much. Just having a flank so quickly was enormously impactful. So again, credit to Fnatic from that perspective, to be able to always respond and read the map so well.
Yeah, it must have been very surprising for them to see that Crims came all the way back after totally abandoning the bomb. When they went back to clear it, Forrest must have felt like, okay, he's just going to come back through short or through CT with his teammates.
So the default from NiP. Fast to his take as well. W is in there with the AWP. So overall the defense is going not necessarily smooth. Some players lost. Oh my god, Draken, what on earth is going on?
Was not expecting that position, but that was a curious one.
Was there a flash even for him? I'm not sure that there was.
Was he opping?
No.
Okay.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been quite the flick if he was opping. 3-on-3, and the bomb's been taken again by Fnatic. A common occurrence in these CT rounds of Fnatic. Dennis at the front of A. Crims is just seeking. He's got the bomb. He knows they will come to him. And he's found the angle for Forest. Doesn't know where Dennis is, though. Very tough spot for Dennis. Can't really scope in, as it would compromise his position.
This is unreal, the way that Crims is getting these kills. He has caught everybody off guard, not taken any damage. Instant headshots, and has flanked 3 players. He's going to flank 4. What? Oh! Oh my god, what?
He thought it was over. That was the fact that Dennis got the kill so quickly is a bit ridiculous. But there are 20 seconds for Dennis, and he's looking for a player in connector. Does he realize the time pressure? I don't think he does. There's 15 seconds. What is he doing? He's got to go.
I think he knows it was over. I don't know.